Tired again.
It's called a special call meeting to order. I'm sorry, committee of the whole meeting to order.
Training.
It's Tuesday, August the 9th, 2005, 5:34 p.m. Councilman Laws is present, Vice Mayor Bell, Councilman Porter, Councilwoman Garner. Item 2A is June the 28th, 2005, Committee of the Whole minutes. Is there motion for approval? Moved by the Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Porter. Any question on the minutes? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The July 12th, 2005 minutes. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor, second by Councilwoman Garner. Any questions on the July 12th minutes? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 2C is the Delphi Settlement and Release Agreement, tab 3.
Mr. Mayor and Council, it's staff recommendation that the City Council authorizes myself to enter into and accept a settlement and release agreement with Adelphia Cable Partners. I have make a couple explanations, and then I have Gary here who helped us out with this. But we had some issues with Adelphia Cable regarding several areas. One was our cable attachments on our poles or pole attachment agreements. We did an audit. There was some outstanding money that we felt that was owed there. There was a question over when the contract actually ends for Adelphia Cable. There was two different opinions, whether it was December 07 or December 06. We also wanted to talk a little bit about our access to airtime. We had, and that's our government programming, the license transfer to Comcast, comes through us. And one of the things we had said before we agreed to transfer is that we had to get some of these issues settled, so that prompted us coming together and talking about those issues and coming to this negotiated settlement. And there is we did put in here the Homestead Electric Services. There was an invoice outstanding. It was for about $5,200, $5,300 in that area. But that's already with the bankruptcy court and part of that proceeding up there. So to lay the foundation there, we have come to an agreement, and you just did get this because we finished the wordsmithing just before coming on. We had it on the agenda, but we hadn't finished the wordsmithing yet on that. And it is done now to everybody's satisfaction. Do you have anything there that you want to talk? I mean, the amount of money is $130,000. We're agreeing that the date of the expiration of the agreement is December 07. We are getting additional time on the government access channel, where we had 2 hours twice a week. We now have 4 hours twice a week guaranteed to us. And then there's also the ability to do 8 additional hours upon written request to Adelphia and availability of that channel. So that handles the city government programming realization. The pole attachment issue, we agreed to a $130,000 payment. The license transfer, we're agreeing that we will approve the transfer. We make our best efforts, because time is always of the essence in a lot of these issues, no later than October 12th, 05, that we'll agree to the transfer with Comcast. And we researched the electric services, and that was tied up initially in the bankruptcy case, so we couldn't really pull it from that and separate it. So that's still with the bankruptcy court and proceeding. The process now, I believe, and we have representatives here from Adelphia, if I misspeak, but is they will, if this approved, they will send this up to the bankruptcy judge. He approves it, and it's a turnaround in about 10 days, approximately 10 days there to sign that. Now, the one big question was, did we get a check tonight when they approved this, or did? Oh, when the transfer is approved. Okay, I missed that date. I was just checking. But those are the main issues that we have before you.
I'll move the recommendation.
Moved by the Vice Mayor, is there a second?
Second, Mayor.
Second by Councilwoman Garner. Mr. Porter?
With the expiration in '07, the existing franchise agreement expires in '07, whether it's held by Adelphia or Comcast or whoever it gets transferred to. What is the federal law for renewal? What is that? How does that get renewed and for what time?
Right. Thank you, Councilman. The renewal process starts 3 years prior to the expiration date, and that starts with the cable company sending in a notice of its intention to seek renewal with the city, which in this case Adelphia has done that. And then there's a process that the city would have to follow. We would have to have procedures for public input, potentially a public hearing. We could do a survey of residents if the city chose to do that. In addition to that formal process involving the public input, we would basically negotiate a new franchise with the cable operator, which in all likelihood is going to be Comcast. So we would commence the negotiations with Comcast shortly after the transaction where they acquire Adelphia system occurs. The close of that transaction, it's my understanding, is not expected to occur until about January of 2006. Is that?
Yeah, the change of controls anticipated around March. It could be as late as June, or like Q2 2006 for the change of control.
Right. That was Mr. Lynn Falter from Adelphia.
I'm sorry, I should have introduced him. So while we could start the initial negotiation process with Adelphia, since reality is the new franchise is going to be with Comcast, it makes sense to wait until Comcast has basically taken over the cable system and has integrated their system into their existing cable system and work with the Comcast management on that process.
If we approve this tonight or subsequent to the final approval, and there were no deals made between Comcast and Adelphia, does it come back to the City Council if it's transferred to anyone other than a Comcast? Or is this just approves Adelphia's ability to transfer to anyone?
No, they applied specifically to transfer. It's actually a two-step process. The transfer is actually first to Time Warner and then to Comcast. It's a very complicated, several hundred-page transaction. And that's what they applied for, and that's all the city can approve, and that's all Adelphia could do. And that's what they've applied also for permission from the FCC to do, as well as from the bankruptcy court. It requires all of those governments to approve it as well.
Thank you for not giving us that document.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 2D is the Homestead Hospital Memorandum of Understanding, tab 4.
Mr. Mayor and Council, it's staff's recommendation that the City Council authorize the City Manager and myself to approve a memorandum of understanding between the City of Homestead and Homestead Hospital. We have representatives here, and rather than me try to regurgitate what I read, I'll let you get up and explain. Sure, right there at the microphone.
Give us your name and address.
My name is Phyllis Oders, and I'm Vice President of Government and Community Relations for Baptist Health. My home residence is 6812 San Vicente, Coral Gables, Florida. I thank you for giving us the time to hear about this wonderful program that we are applying for on behalf of Homestead Hospital. In 1990, Congress established the 340B drug pricing program. And basically the program was set up for hospitals that serve a disproportionate share of Medicaid patients. Homestead Hospital serves 15% of its overall patient population is Medicaid, and if you look at the other portion, we have about another between 10 and 15%, which really goes to charity care, so we clearly qualify. What we are doing is we're applying for this program so that the hospital can receive a deeper discount than it currently does through its large group purchasing agency. Basically, those funds will just come back to the hospital, and with that, it will be the offset of the tremendous cost for building the this wonderful new hospital that we have going up, and that's what we're applying for this program. We're applying for the program really for a number of our individual hospitals, and from here we have to get the Department of Health also to sign off on this. And one of the reasons why we need the resolution from the city is just to basically qualify and give the federal government the basis that we are truly being a community not-for-profit charitable organization that is treating the poor and is treating the Medicaid population. Are there any questions?
I'll move the recommendation.
Moved by Mr. Porter, second by the Vice Mayor. Any further question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item 2E is the acquisition of property along Camel Drive and resolution. Tab 5.
Mayor and Council, staff recommends the authorization to accept the dedications of certain of this real property. It runs between 152 Avenue and east to 137 Avenue on Campbell Drive, which is enabling us to enlarge the 4 lanes. Campbell Drive, the resolution would allow these dedications to be recorded with the caveat that we do have one correction on the owner in the documentation on the flyer. I think the property owned by Flyer is no longer owned by them. Our attorneys will be getting with Mr. Losner and working that out. But in short, it's the right-of-way we need, the 4-lane.
So moved, Mayor.
Moved by Ms. Garner, second by the Vice Mayor. Any further discussion?
Stupid question. We're just now doing this? I mean, they're laying asphalt out there.
Well, it's been, we're just now getting the right-of-way stuff taken care of, but they knew and were aware and in agreement. It's just getting the paperwork to follow.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Burns and McDonald's change order, tab 6.
Okay. Burns and McDonald change order. As you know, we're doing our 2 substations and the related transmission lines that will connect our substations to FP&L's transmission lines in 2 different areas. We had worked quite some time with FP&L with a process in which we were tapping in to their transmission lines, and that was kind of a go for quite some time. And just before getting it finalized, FP&L came back in and reviewed what they wanted to do there. And they are very sensitive to not just us, anybody tapping into the transmission line, because every tap in you have in that transmission line is, and they have formulas for this, they can determine failures that are going to occur or will occur because of that, which impacts their transmission lines. So they decided that they did not like the tap method. They wanted us to do a ring bus, and we're tapping into their line.
I'll move the recommendation because I know it's a change order due to the fact that FP&L has made a change. And how quick is it going to be done?
Again, this is part of, it will be on schedule to move where we are in the building of the transmission, the substations. This will still early enough that it doesn't halt that.
Because we need to continue on course with the timeline. I know that date is still uncertain as to which is a real date, but we certainly need to increase the system. So.
Second, Mayor.
And I'm assuming they didn't review the design prior to the city moving forward, because to me they just changed it midstream even after the initial.
This design had been discussed and talked about, and they did see it, the initial one. We had discussions over it, and then again, and I don't know what point, Mike, did you remember at what point FP&L came back and decided they did not like what we originally...
Mr. Mayor, council members, FP&L, actually it came to our attention from staff about 2 months ago that the FP&L didn't go ahead with the original agreement we had with them. It was a verbal agreement, there was no execution of a written agreement. And of course they related to interruption of service issues. With the new configuration, frankly speaking, we met with them and we went over it with our staff and engineers. It adds additional reliability to our substation, so the change is not just coming for, because what FPNL wants. Of course, that was the main reason, but it's going to add additional reliability by having 2 tie lines to the substation. And the engineering services you see here is really, I know we use the term change order, but it's really additional scope of work, because now they have 2.2 additional miles of transmission lines. So for that, they're adding additional services to provide that capability. And like Kurt said, with the proposed work and the schedule, we will be able to actually be ahead of the schedule, which we said December of 2006, we will be ahead of the schedule.
So how do we avoid this from happening again, considering they did look at it initially and said it was okay, and now they don't like it? So do we probably need to require something in writing from them, but they've looked at it, they agreed to it, so if there's a change, that some of the financial liability lies with them?
Mr. Mayor, Council members, they accepted the route we have right now, the one that will be designed, and a part of the agreement with them also to take the ownership of that line from their main transmission line to our substation, because they want to have full control over it, and doesn't really benefit us for anything besides just provide us with power. And if they maintain it, it's less maintenance cost to us. So there will be a formal agreement, but the route is approved by them.
But this change order doesn't exceed the budget. We're still within budget, this project?
No, it does add extra money. We're going to have to reduce something else that we had in the monies to meet this. Our issue here is it's their line, their ball, their game, everything pretty much, and we're tapping into their line for our benefit, and other than putting on a happy face and trying to be nice, we don't have a lot of leverage, in our negotiations there. I mean, they're not that they won't cooperate, but if they want something a certain way, it's pretty difficult to get the 800-pound gorilla to move over and go our way. So it's we're not really kind of like a one-legged man in a rear end kicking contest here. We just keep falling down if we go against them and don't get it done. So strike that. Would you please?
Really just buying our way out of it.
Did I? Yeah.
Just keeps us on track.
Well, or even letting us hook up. It became that kind of. We didn't just say okay, okie dokie. We just said, we've. Took this long. After 2 months, we met with them, we tried, we cajoled, we did whatever, and they still felt more comfortable with this.
Good. Any other discussion?
I have a question.
Vice Mayor?
I'm seeing how as far as these change orders go, does every single change order, because I've thought about these before, when bidding is so competitive, and not in this particular scenario, but let's just say like the Southwest 4th Street streetscape that we're about to discuss, when bidding is so tight and so close from one bidder to the next, and we take the lower bidder, how do we handle when the change order comes in and that change order would have actually brought it over that second bidder? I mean, does every single change order come back before council, regardless of what it is?
Well, yes, usually the money is such, like in this case, the money is such that it does need to come before. If it's a minor change order and we feel that something that was unforeseeable and the money is not large, it wouldn't come back before council. But I know where you're going on the other one. Yeah, if there's because there is a difference between. And we talked about that today at the briefing, and Julio and Brian, we were talking, it's difficult at the initial stage of the bidding because some of these projects and the contractors, like example Southwest 4th Street, may have trees left over from another job or something that they have access that's much cheaper that they can put in, and the other people don't have access to that, and that tips the scale for them to, or whatever kind of material, maybe their fill's close, whatever, that kind of stuff.
Well, my question basically was alluding to the fact that I hope that we're very careful when bids are close, because the change order, I mean, somebody could purposely underbid and then put a change order in later, and I just think that's something we should,
And that's not an unusual tactic.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
We can distinguish this, that this is a third party
Sure.
necessitating this additional.
Kind of like the mayor, I'm never comfortable with change orders, especially when they bring us over budget.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Any other question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Surplus items, auction and resolution, tab 7.
I'll move it.
Moved by the Vice Mayor, is there a second?
No-brainer.
Second by Councilman Lozano. Any questions on the surplus items? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Mayor, I have a question. It's kind of related.
Go right ahead.
Last time we had surplus items, I was asking about the ATV for Bayfront Park. Did you ever get any response? Because the lifeguards are still calling me. They're begging me, please get us an ATV.
Do you recall, I'm trying to recall that because I did talk to the chief, and it turned out that I don't think Dade County wanted them to do that anyway, so I can find out the exact answer tomorrow for you.
The county didn't want us to give it to them?
Well, not the lifeguards, not at that level. Further up, I think they felt. I'll get with Al just to make sure I'm correct on that. And
Okay, because
get with
I'd like
you.
to give them a response. They're still asking me about it.
Really?
They're begging, because most of the work they've done out there, they did themselves, so I know that they would put it to use.
Okay, Ed will, if you'll write that down, and Chief will get with me tomorrow, but he had said something to me months ago, as a matter of fact.
County would rather do without
what the
than
deal
buy
was.
our truck.
I'll get with you.
Okay, thank you.
That's the mentality, they'd rather buy new.
Thank you, Ms. Garner. 2H is the Cocoa Walk Estates Traffic Control Agreement Resolution.
Did we vote on the last one?
Yes.
Okay, on this traffic control jurisdiction agreement, you know, from time to time, communities that have private roads in which we do not go in and do traffic enforcement there, decide they want to have traffic enforcement there, and this is a jurisdictional agreement to allow us to go in and send officers in to do traffic patrolling in there on occasion. And they are charged.
I'll move it, because they asked for it, right?
They asked for it.
They asked for it.
Moved by Mr. Porter, second by the Vice Mayor. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item 3A is the bid for the Southwest Streetscape Project, tab 9.
Yes, Mayor and Council. It's our recommendation, or the Evaluations Committee recommendation, that the bid be awarded to Redland Company at the bid prices listed in your tabulation sheet. This project is the streetscape between Chrome Avenue west to 2nd Avenue. Yeah, 2nd Avenue. Remember, we've done from 2nd Avenue to 6th. And it serves as kind of an entranceway into the southwest section on Southwest 4th Street. We're using a combination of CDBG funds, CRA money, and we will, by the time this project is completed, the remaining funds will be in the 05-06 budget. And it is
I'll move it. Moved by Mr. Porter,
before the parade, by the way.
Oh, second with a comment, Mayor.
second by Ms. Garner. Mr. Porter, then Ms. Garner.
Is this, I know it's going to be removal of trees, is it, and sidewalk? Is it curb and gutter?
Yes, if you would like to.
No street repair, though? Just curb and gutter?
Yes, sidewalks, landscaping, irrigation for the landscaping, and gutter, curbs, and recapping the road.
It will be recapped?
Yes, it will.
Good.
And no parking.
No parking?
No parking?
No parking.
That was my
And the
issue.
new lighting standards, too.
Perfect. Thank you.
That was my issue, Mayor. If we're going to have parking anywhere along that, can we make sure the spaces are wider?
Not motorcycle parking.
Right. Norman can handle it, but...
No special.
Any other questions? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No special street striping.
Power Transformers Reconditioning Project, tab 10.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is, again, the Evaluation Committee's recommendation that the bid be awarded environmental protection services at their bid prices that are included. This is for normal maintenance and reconditioning the insulating oil in our transformers. And we have about 5 transformers that this will apply to. It extends the life of the equipment. It's part of a preventive maintenance type program. The funds are available and they don't match what the bid is. There, just to make that point, Mayor.
Move the recommendation.
Moved by Mr. Porter, is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Vice Mayor. Question?
We've used these people before. This is not a new contract. I mean, we've used repair.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's environmental services or not before. Brian, do you recall? It's a different, oh, hey man, I didn't see that. Different company.
Okay, I'm fine. Thank you, Mayor.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item 3C is the purchase of materials for the new underground construction, tab 11.
Yes, Mayor and Council, it's, again, the Evaluations Committee recommended that the bids be awarded as follows. Most of it is to Electric Supply, Inc., except for one item, which is Wesco. This particular order is for the new construction that's going on out at really mostly east. As the new developments are being built, they really have come in quite quickly. We're having to go in and put the infrastructure in for the electric. So this pays for the infrastructure. It really serves an 8-month period, or at least an estimated 8-month period that we'll be putting this equipment in. We are funding this through current funds of about $426,000, and then we budget the remainder, which is about 1.3 mil remainder, out of the 05-06 budget, and the time frame will be in that new budget year. That is upfront money we will recover later as we service customers.
I'll move it.
Yeah, second.
Moved by Mr. Lawson, second by the Vice Mayor. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item 3D is the purchase of children's playground for Mistrata Park.
Mayor, the next few are dealing with the parks, and Marlene Volker is going to present those for us.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Staff is requesting approval of $50,300.66 to purchase a playground unit at Mistretta Park. These dollars are coming from the Safe Neighborhood Parks Bond dollar. This is the reallocation of the equestrian funds. We are adding the playground equipment, and we additionally, in the future, will be putting some basketball court resurfacing there, game tables, picnic tables, benches. We're rehabbing the total park for the neighborhood.
I'll move it, Mayor.
Moved by Ms. Garner, the second by Mr. Porter. Any discussion?
Do you know how long it's going to take to complete it?
Mistretta Park, we will start the playground in September, and we hope by the end of the year that we will have the majority of the projects completed in Mistretta.
Any other comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Mayor and Council, the next request is for an agreement with BEA International for architectural and engineering services for the Senior Center. This will include the design development, construction documents, bidding, permitting, and construction administration for the Senior Center. This is one of our first big projects that we will be starting. We had meetings, we met with the seniors, we met with the community, and I think everyone was in agreement that what would go into the new rehab there. We're asking for council to approve the amount here in the scope of services for BEA. This funding is available from the impact fees.
I'll move it, Mayor.
Moved by the Vice Mayor, is there a second?
Second, Mayor.
Marlene, is this normal in terms of the percentage of the project for?
Yes, Mayor. The total project we anticipate will be a little over $2 million, and it's normally about 10% rule of thumb for the cost for A&E. And in addition, they will be doing construction administration, which is an added benefit here, too.
And that's all part of the 210?
Yes, Mayor.
Any other discussion on this issue? Mr. Losner?
This comment, Marlene, just for, assuming I'm here after November, and as this goes forward, just a little renovation I'm doing, I've learned that architects can run amok very quickly. And I guess my point is, I'd like council to have the opportunity at all the different phases to have some hands-on look at interior design, colors, materials, all those kinds of things, so that the day the ribbon's cut, we don't walk in and say, where did that come from?
Absolutely, Councilman Losner. We will be bringing you regular updates and samples as we move along with the design and the construction. I think we did give you an overview, and we've had some large boards, storyboards for the actual construction.
Get into the details and the nuts
Yes,
and
sir.
bolts of
We'll be bringing them back before you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Mayor and Council, the next item is a grant agreement that we accept a grant award from FERDAP in the amount of $200,000 for improvements to Whitcott Park.
We shouldn't have to think about that.
I'll take it.
Moved by Ms. Garner, second by the Vice Mayor. $200,000 from the state.
Yes, this is FERDAP, Mayor.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Good.
The next item, Mayor and Council, is another grant, Florida Department of Environmental Protection. This is for Audubon. This is another $200,000 grant we've been awarded. So this would be requesting your authorization to accept the grant award of $200,000.
Moved by the Vice Mayor, second by Ms. Garner.
These are tough ones, Mayor.
Any questions?
Okay.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Is it unusual that a city will get two separate grants from the same granting agency?
It's very good.
Normally not normal. It's good.
Is that abnormal?
The next item, Mayor and Council, is also for a TDC grant of $4,500. This was for our 4th of July celebration. In fact, we had gone in for $2,500 and they awarded us $4,500. So we were very fortunate there, too.
Is the motion for approval? Moved by the Vice Mayor, the second?
I'll second that.
Second by Mr. Long.
Does that mean we get $2,500 more fireworks next year?
We're going to try.
That was a fabulous show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really good.
And Mayor and Council...
Let's get a vote on it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Good.
And I believe this is the last one. This is also an additional grant from the Community Grant Department, Cultural Affairs, for $4,244 for the 4th of July celebration.
Moved
by Mr. Porter, the second by the Vice Mayor. Question, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So we got 9,000.
Yeah. Reimbursement? What does this event cost us?
$8,900,744 back, huh?
We've been aggressively trying to go after grant dollars and funding for our park projects.
That's fantastic.
Because we feel that, with our Parks Master Plan, there's been a lot of suggestions, requests, and this is the time to really do it.
Very good.
So the investment of the grant writer was a wise thing to do, I think.
Absolutely, Mayor. Very good.
Good.
And the two last grants were done in-house by our parks people.
It's good. Very good. Congratulations.
A special kudos to Kirk Heron and his staff because, as I said, they've been very aggressive in trying to go out there and to look for grant dollars.
Point him out to the mayor. He never forgets.
Always to get his name. Kurt, I'll sign off on the raise. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Public safety, Mr. Porter.
You take it, Mayor. You're on a roll.
We Care After School Summer Grant Resolution.
In the park grant, now we'll start with public safety grants. Homestead Police Department recommends acceptance of this grant award. It's not the first time we've had this. It's for after school care and summer grant. We work through We Care, who manages it, the people who put it on and implement it, and they're managing the grant, but it's for $82,969.10. That's for the Children's Trust and We Care organization. It'll be July 1st, 05 through May 31st, 06. The operational expenses for after-school programming and summer programming. There is an $82,000 match that goes with this. The city has to match that 82, but we're able to do it in soft dollars via the use of our building and equipment. So there's no hard dollars that go out there. So they use the PAL.
I'll move this, Mayor.
Moved by the Vice Mayor, is there a second? Second by Ms. Garner. Question?
That PAL gym's going to be there anyway, regardless of whether we take this grant or not. So it's not like it's $82,000 that you're not spending anyway.
Right.
Let me just say, probably as much as we view, say, it's not the only facility, but the PAL gym is a match. You probably pay for the construction cost of that.
That's good. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Very good.
Any business, Ms. Garner, for the committee of the whole?
I just want to say our grant writers are kicking butt. Kudos to all of you. It seems like every time we have a committee of the whole, there's a grant we're accepting. Keep it up.
Mr. Porter, any business?
I echo Ms. Garner. I can't believe, we over budgeted $269,000 on one. We got back almost $500,000 on the other side of the table. So definitely ended up on the positive side of that negotiation through the day. So I think it's wonderful. You guys are doing a great job with the grants. It's money that we didn't have to spend otherwise. I think it's fabulous. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Porter. Vice Mayor?
Yeah, I want to thank the police department for assisting me as we're, I know they didn't know, no. I wasn't after another criminal, no thanks, that's not it. Actually, I was, but we lost him. Now this actually, I want to thank Captain Bowe and Captain Kennedy. We're working on a new program to help curb truancy, and we probably will, Dade County itself, Dade County School Boards, Dade County cannot solicit any grants, whereas the City of Homestead and the SOS can. So we're looking for some resolution when it comes to the City of Homestead truancy problem that we're having in many of our middle and high schools. So I know none of us did another job, and certainly the police department didn't, but it's a problem that we are trying to work on, and we have had our second meeting. And so, we'll be keeping you posted about that. But it looks like it's going to be a good project, and the school board staff were very excited that the City of Homestead was taking the initiative to do what most other cities don't. They pretty much push it off to the school board as their problem. And while technically it is, it's all of our problem. So we're going to work on that. Also, Kurt, I wanted to get an update on the contract that is being held, the contract that we're now reviewing on the property for the proposed possibility of school site. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Losner? Is there a status on the utility director position? Have you all?
We have put a headhunter in place to find us.
Again? Okay, that's good. I think the superintendent, Dr. Crew, will be in Homestead tomorrow evening at 6 at Homestead Senior High School, so if you're available, you may want to come out, and I think they'll talk about the strategy for improving Homestead Senior High School. And I think it'll be very important that we come out and not only support them, but if we have any concerns or any ideas or suggestions, I think it'll be very helpful. But he'll be here tomorrow at 6 o'clock at Homestead Senior High School. Let me also thank the police department for night out at Blakely Park last week. Captain Bowe, you did an outstanding job, you and the others that were part of it, and I think it sent the right message, and the turnout was very, very good. So thank you all very much for that. And that's all I have. Mr. Manager, anything for this?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have one item in regards to authorizing an emergency purchase this week, and this is the first public meeting in which I can bring it to you according with our ordinance, and we're purchasing 1,980 of the 95-gallon super cans. October 1st, we're taking over Waterstone, and we need to get these cans in and ready to go. Julio and his crew's working on an implementation and transition plan over there to let people know when, how, where, and all of that. So October 1st, we're scheduled to take over solid waste pickup in Waterstone.
Would you have the manpower for that so quickly?
Yes, we have a truck come in. Julio, maybe you want to expand on that, on the equipment.
Yes, we'll have enough, and also we're planning on this Friday, we're supposed to receive one of the automated side loaders, and also another one in 3 weeks. So we'll have the equipment as well by that time.
Good, that's quick.
Let me ask you a question.
Mr. Porter?
When a super can is really in bad shape, damaged, drug out on the side of the road, what mechanism is it that those get replaced? Does the homeowner or customer have to call in and ask someone, or does somebody just repair them?
Well, we drive around periodically to try to see the condition of cans, and if we see something that's in bad shape, we'll pick it up. Most of the time, the residents call, and we either replace it or repair it, depending on the extent of the damage. What we do is we take the damaged can, put a new one in there, and back at the warehouse, we'll fix it. We have wheels and axles and all that we can fix it, and lids. So then we put it back in service and use them again.
Mr. Mayor, council members, also the drivers, when they see something in bad shape, they report it back to the supervisors.
I know there's a lot of them, when I drive around, a lot of them that I see just get left on the street, and I just didn't know if it's because maybe they couldn't drag them around because they don't have any wheels, or, it'd be nice, well, no one says they're dragging them back to the house anyway in some of the areas. They may just leave them out there, but that's fine. If it's initiated normally by the customer, that's good to know. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Porter. Anything else, Mr. Manager?
No, sir.
Anything from the audience? Yes, sir.
Charles Albright, 437 Southeast 22nd Drive. I'd like to ask a question for the mayor, maybe he can relate it to the man who was just speaking. Is there a time limit for if you have a garbage box fixed, it's broken wheel? Is there a time limit that we can tell our residents that to expect to have it fixed or replaced?
Julio?
You mean from time of reporting it to when it's replaced?
Yes.
Well, usually what we do is when we go to the site, we usually take a can with us so we can replace it right there on the spot, for the most part.
I've had some residents come to me and said it was as much as a week, and sometimes 2 weeks they wouldn't get their can fixed. Is that unusual, or is...
The only thing that I would say to that, it may have been at some point when we were low on inventory and the can was in too bad of a shape to replace, but our policy is to replace it right on the spot. Again, if they have any complaints, they can just call me directly, and I'll make sure that it gets taken care of.
It's just something we can bring up in our local council meetings, that we can tell them to expect something within a week, right? Would that be?
No.
Much sooner than that.
Okay, thank you very much.
And it's my understanding you're saying that if I call, you would bring one out, pick up the bad one, repair it, and then...
Exactly, yeah.
So hopefully it's immediate.
They do.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Ed Powell. I'm at 2274 Southeast 27th Drive in Keysgate. As far as the garbage can pickup issue, we had a situation, where we share a small storage space under our stairs. I'm upstairs, someone's down. And there was a transition where the new garbage cans got larger and weren't going to fit into our doorways. And I know we had an issue with that. And I'm wondering, and I've seen some of the residents have gotten ones that are the smallest size that I have. And my thought is, are you going to stay with the present ones we have? Are you increasing the size of those with the new ones? Are we, because if you make them bigger and replace them, they don't go into our storage. We have no place to put them because there is no common storage site. The other thing I noticed today, our pickup, which is usually earlier, was about 5 o'clock when I left, and it was not the normal side loading. It was yellow, so I thought, oops, it sounded like you had some mechanical problems with one of your trucks, that you had a backup, and that was later today. But what I try to do is, with that side loader, is the guy will come in and he'll put two alongside of each other, flip the tops, and then grab them and pick them up. I try to go out there in the morning and set them up for the guy. I'll line up 2 by 2 and flip the top and try to help these guys through the development. So if any of you see that, it doesn't hurt to give them a hand, and it kind of speeds up the process as well. So we appreciate that service. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Powell. Thank you all very much for coming out. Meeting is adjourned.